Have you ever noticed that people who feel deeply often seem to experience both intense trials and profound victories? Emotional people carry more than just feelings. They carry a greater spiritual power. Their sensitivity allows them to connect with God and others on a level that is inaccessible to those who are emotionally detached. This depth of heart makes them both vulnerable and incredibly strong in spiritual matters. I once knew a man named Samuel who was naturally empathetic and highly sensitive to the emotions of those around him. He would cry with friends in their pain and rejoice with them in their victories. For a long time, Samuel wondered if his emotional nature was a burden. But over time, he realized that his capacity to feel deeply gave him the ability to pray with power, encourage with authenticity, and discern God's leading in ways that others could not. The Bible reminds us that God honors tender hearts. In 1 Samuel 16:7, it says, "The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." Emotional people may be underestimated by the world, but God sees their hearts and equips them with spiritual power to influence lives, guide others, and fulfill His purposes. Because emotional hearts are naturally attuned to the struggles of others, they are uniquely positioned to serve as instruments of God's love. Psalm 34:18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." Their empathy allows them to intercede, comfort, and act in ways that move God's hand in powerful ways. Emotional people carry responsibility for blessing others in profound spiritual ways. Experiencing deep feelings does not mean weakness. On the contrary, it strengthens faith, perseverance, and reliance on God. Emotional people learn to navigate challenges with prayerful discernment and spiritual insight. The enemy may try to discourage or overwhelm them, recognizing the potential for impact that their tender hearts carry. Yet, their emotional depth becomes a source of resilience and spiritual authority. Jesus himself demonstrated the power of a sensitive heart. Hebrews 4:15 reminds us, "For we do not have a high priest who is unable to empathize with our weaknesses, but we have one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are. Yet he did not sin." Sensitivity is not a flaw. It is a channel through which God's power flows, equipping individuals to act, pray, and love with extraordinary effectiveness. So if you are an emotional person, do not shrink from your feelings or apologize for your heart. Your emotional depth is a sign of spiritual power and a capacity to carry God's influence into the lives of others. Embrace your sensitivity, stand strong in faith, and trust that your heart is a gift that God will use mightily. God bless you